Both teams needing a victory, coming off losses. Milwaukee put forth a good effort in the first half, challenging the Lakers, but the defense picked up. They did a good job of slowing Giannis down. Were able to climb back into the league with some good three-point shooting. And then I think in the third quarter, I think they regrouped, and the defense really was exceptional. I thought Caruso coming in, Pope knocking down threes. LeBron James, amazing leadership in the first half when they really needed to stay in the game. He was there, big shots. Just an all-around good road effort for the first one out.
Good bounce-back win, I think, after the Warriors lost. I think they really felt that they let that game get away from them. They weren't professional. They didn't finish it out. Tonight, I thought LeBron wanted to make sure that he reminded everybody this team is locked in. Great road win.
All right, KCP, a season-high 7 threes. He's with Mike Trudell in the media.
All right, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I'm going to ask you to just grab your hand real quick. Is it still hot? Is it cooled down yet?
A little bit. It's warm, but it's a little cold in here. That's why I kind of got this towel over my head.
Got you.
I feel good.
Yeah, so you came into this season, Kentavious, talking about your confidence level coming out of the bubble in which you played so well to help the Lakers secure the title last year. Clearly, that's been the case as the season has gone on, and most notably from three, you came in third in the NBA and then hit 7 more tonight. Can you just get into your rhythm a little bit and what you've been seeing from the guys that you've been on the court with and how you're getting your shots?
Just going from last year, man, playing with AD and Bron, and then starting this year, I already know, when they got the ball in the post or on the wing, pick and rolls, I know where to find my spots. Still learning some of the other guys that like to post, Trez, Mark, but just all about just finding that open spot, so they can be able to see me, if they need to pass it out, just being in the open spot.
Your teammate Alex Caruso had that dagger 3 from the corner. LeBron hit a bunch of threes tonight, right? There are a lot of guys that have been in the high 40s so far this season. How about just the looks that the team is getting, Kentavious? Why do you think those seem to have gotten better even from last year?
I've said it last time, touching that paint. Every time we touch that paint, things open up for us, for our kick-out threes. And then when we offensive rebound, it's a big thing Frank always preach. It's called Corvers. We kick it out for threes. That's when they're mostly open. But it's all about just us touching that paint, and drawing defense and then kicking out, and then making an extra pass.
Got you. Last thing for you, Kentavious. A little bit different from how you guys typically win games, right? Milwaukee scores a bunch in the paint. You guys hit a ton of threes, have a free throw line advantage. How do you feel about just the way the team is playing this year overall, and where do you think you guys would still like to get to, even as you have the best record in the league?
No, we still got a lot to improve on. We still a lot of still new guys. We still trying to figure things out, but it's coming along as quick as possible. That I thought it was going to take a minute to do, but it's coming along as far as that chemistry on the court and off the court, and just really just playing for each other. We out there. Our defense really get our offense going when we get in transition, and we know where we're best at.
All right, Kenny, I'd tell you to go stick your hand in an ice bath, but you may as well just keep it warm for next game, right?
For sure. We're going to another cold city, so I'm trying to keep it warm.
All right, man. See you later.
All right, thank you.
Keep it hot, Mike. KCP was great. 7 of 10 from 3, season high, 23 points. That third quarter fish where he was 3 for 3, and really the Lakers kind of set the tone for that second half, extended it to a 12-point lead.
Yeah, and we talked about ending quarters and ending halves being really key to championship basketball. We talked about at the half, the Lakers finishing 16-6. That carried into the third quarter. The Lakers were able to push it up 10 and force the Bucks to really play from behind the entire second half. KCP, like you said, 3 for 3 in that third quarter. And that's what you need from your glue guys, your role players. He passed up one late in the fourth quarter against the Warriors, and he was not letting it pass him up tonight.
LeBron was not happy, and KCP got the message.
He's really improved. I remember, when he was in that slump and it seemed like the whole world was against him, and he hung in there. Well, a three-point shooter is only as good as the offense is run. You know what I mean? And I think he mentioned this, when AD arrived and LeBron got back, it's the way they run their offense. They do a really good job of making the defense give up something, whether they collapse the defense by driving downhill or going in the post. But, it's the way they run their offense is why they're getting some good threes. Caruso, Kuzma, everybody's, knocking them down.
James, you bring up a good point. And statistically, right now, we're only 16 games in, Fish, but this is the best shooting team the Lakers have had. I mean, especially from three-point land. You have 9, 10, 11 guys hitting threes per game. They're 19 for 37 again tonight, 51%. But it's the ball, it's the sharing, it's the movement, it's the ability to get it into AD, who's not selfish and will kick it out, making the extra pass, all those things. Guys are open, and they're knocking them down.
Yeah, the benefit of having another one of those generational superstars on your team,
it helps.
In Anthony Davis, to create the open looks and the high percentage looks that KCP, Caruso, Kuz, other guys are getting around the perimeter. That helps tremendously. LeBron is shooting the ball better from three this season, and he's shooting it with a lot of confidence. But you speaking of the mentality, though, and the mindset of sharing the basketball, playing together, they passed up on a couple late against Golden State, overpassing, trying to create a better shot for their teammate. And I thought tonight they didn't hesitate as much. The guy that was open, on balance, ready to shoot, his hands were ready. They do a really good job of passing on time and on target for the most part, and that's when those percentages can go up.
Big Game, you mentioned LeBron at the top of the show. We're running out of ways to talk about him. But in the pregame show, Allie had joined us, and we were talking about LeBron and the motivation, and Frank even said you'd have to ask him. I mean, obviously, Giannis won the MVP the last 2 seasons. LeBron made it known last year in the playoffs. He stated his case. He told you that he thought he had a good enough season where he could have been MVP. Well, he came out tonight. He doesn't say much about it, but he goes for 34 points, season high in threes, 6 for 10, and sprinkles in 8 rebounds and 5 assists.
Just sprinkles that in, Peter.
Excuse me, 8 assists, 6 rebounds.
I thought in the first half when Milwaukee was really kind of putting it to the Lakers, scoring, Middleton was hitting, Porter, all those guys were getting their game on. LeBron took over. He hit some big shots, kept them in the game, and then in the latter part of the second quarter, he engaged other players, got some good shots. So his leadership, we talk about it every game. At 36, what he's able to do still, hit big shots, leadership, communicating with his players. It's just amazing to see night in and night out.
And listen, they've had a lot of blowout wins this year, Fish, but there was a surprising stat during that game. This was the first time this year LeBron has been over 30. They just haven't needed that from him. There's been a lot of balance, but as Big Game said, tonight they needed the scoring, and he gave it to him, and he gave it to him early.
No, it hasn't been needed. He's playing chess typically when everybody else is playing checkers. And so he makes moves with thought, right? He's thinking a few steps ahead. What did I say earlier? What did he say back in the bubble? RESPECT.
I'm not a great speller, but I'm on with you on that one.
That's what tonight was about. I think that, the loss against the Warriors on the way out, going out on a road trip and losing at home is a terrible feeling for a championship-level team. So they wanted to get back on the right track right away. But I also believe LeBron was very intentional about this particular performance tonight.
For sure.
To remind everybody that he can level up whenever he needs to.
All right, ready to get some highlights?
Hey, what's up, Anthony? You guys have been shooting the ball well all year, but 19 more threes tonight. What did you see as the key there and how you were able to get looks and knock them down and how much of a difference it made?
We just get into the paint. Last game we had 18 paint touches in the first quarter, and then 18 in the entire second half. And when we get to the paint, we're able to finish or we're able to kick out to our shooters and let them make some open threes. And tonight we was able to get into the paint, knowing this is a defense who protects the paint. 5 guys in the paint, and guys made the right pass.
On the flip side, Milwaukee was able to score in the paint a lot tonight. I believe it was 58 points in the paint. Frank said that's been a focus in the last film session. What have you been seeing defensively, and how do you think that can get shored up a bit better?
That has been very good with our low man, which is, our help side defense. We're depending on guys to play one-on-one a lot, containing their man. And And, you know, we're a defensive-minded team. You know, we rely on each other to help. You know, guys are good in this league. Guys are going to get beat. Guys are going to make tough shots, but we got to be able to help our teammates. And we're usually good around, you know, the three-point area, you know, three-point line, you know, about a break where we help guys out. But once they get in the paint, you know, that guy who's supposed to be in rotation is haven't been there for us, and we missed it a couple times tonight as well. So, you know, we got to be better at that.
Bill Orm.
Hey, AD. You know, so much was made last summer about LeBron finishing second to Giannis in MVP. Obviously, you also in DPOY. Did that add any motivation or juice to this matchup tonight for you guys?
No. No, that was last season. Honestly, no one, you know, had brought that up or talked about it. You know, our motivation was not losing 2 in a row tonight, and we were able to get that accomplished. I mean, you know, he's a great player on both sides of the ball. And, you know, he deserved them. You know, for us, we just try to go out there and win basketball games.
Al?
Hey, D. You know, it seemed like, you know, the team was trying to get you a lot of post-ups in late in the game, and then you have, you know, 3 assists, I think, on 3 critical baskets in a little stretch in the fourth quarter. What was the adjustment for you, and how did you kind of adapt your mentality to how you were operating out of the post?
Right now, I'm so hard on myself, man. I think I suck right now. Man, I'm not making shots. I'm not making free throws. But I think tonight my aggressiveness, you know, just being in the post and getting to the paint, you know, allow guys to get open. And, you know, I trust, you know, my teammates. You know, AC hit one for me. Brian hit one, and Kenny hit one, and they're in the right spots where I want those guys when I have the ball in the post, and was able to just make the read, you know, with their guys doubling or collapsing to the paint when I get there, and was able to kick it out, and those guys made shots. So, yeah, I think just my aggressiveness tonight opened up the floor for everyone, and you know, that's the only way I feel like, you know, I'm going to get out of this, you know, funk or whatever. You know, that I'm in, you know, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to be a better basketball player each and every game, and you know, that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Dave?
AD, whether it was explicit or not going into the game and you guys talking about the matchup with Giannis, when you look at the score sheet after the game, you see you hold the back-to-back MVP, or not hold him, you contribute to him having 9 turnovers. Is there a level of satisfaction in terms of, I know you take pride in the defense, that you guys were able to, you know, have that type of effect on a guy you mentioned as a great player?
Yeah, I mean, it's a team defense. You know, everyone, just not the guy on the ball, is helping guard him. The league has created this, you know, phrase, the Giannis wall, and because he's so good in transition, and you load up, he makes the right plays, and I think Wes kind of helped us out tonight, you know, able to play with him last year. They give us a little insight on the things that they like to run and they like to do. But it's a team defense. It's a team effort on everyone, you know, who's on the other side of the ball. You know, I think, you know, myself, Marquis, Bron, Trey, Gardner, you know, guys are just being physical and trying to limit his paint touches and, you know, make other guys beat us. So I didn't know he had 9 turnovers, but that was a hell of a job for us defensively.
All right, we've got time for a couple more. Rachel Nichols.
Hey, AD, I'm doing a project asking guys what they remember about the first time they ever played against Kobe Bryant. So I don't know if it was your rookie year or preseason game, but the very first time you played against him on the court, what do you remember from that night?
The very first time in the NBA, I don't remember. I remember, I think it was either my first year or my second year. We were playing in New Orleans, and I think it was a team with Kobe, Dwight, and everything. And it's the year that I think Kobe, actually against us, he tore something in his right shoulder. I want to say his labrum or something. And you know, he was holding the shoulder after he drove to the basket. I'm like, man, something wrong with his shoulder. and I was on the bench, and timeout, and he comes back into the game. I'm like, he's tough. He's still going to continue to play, and he comes down the very next play. They throw the ball to him in the post, and I think Dante Cunningham is guarding him, and he takes 2 dribbles, and does a shimmy and shoot the ball left-handed, and it goes in. And I just kind of stared at him down the court and looked at the bench, and I was just amazed that a guy who is right-handed just comes in and say, okay, I'm just going to shoot left-handed and play left-handed. So that's one of my earliest memories in the league of Kobe.
Do you remember him saying anything to you, or were you too scared to say anything to him?
No, I didn't say anything. I was on the bench, and so the game kept going on, but I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to him. I was just amazed that he would attempt a shot like that.
Thanks, AD.
Yeah.
Last question, BT.
What's up, AD? Kenny was 7 for 10 from the field tonight, and he shot the ball exceptionally well. How confident does he appear to be right now? And when he's making a shot like that, how does that open the offense for you guys?
He's playing extremely well on both ends of the floor. His confidence is very high. We expect him to make shots. He expects himself to make shots, and we're finding him. He takes excuse me. It's not cold, guys. The air is a little dry out here. He's a big time shot taker and a big time shot maker. And when he got it going, we looked for him. We kind of got on him in the Golden State game about not taking the shot that was open for him late in the game, and he came out tonight and let it fly. So when he got it going like that, and guys are making shots, it opened up the paint for all our drivers and makes the game a lot easier for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Frank Vogel is the most handsome coach I ever had. Oh, what's up, Coach?
Indeed. The Lakers' 7-game road trip continues on Saturday night. They are 8-0 on the road. Can they get it to 9? This is the best road start in France.
Defensive guy took his eye off for a split second. Nice find by AD.
1-2 punch. Let's head back to Milwaukee. Lakers head coach Frank Vogel is speaking with Mike in the media on Zoom.
Well, Frank, kind words from AD there.
I try to train all my players. This is what they're supposed to say about their coach.
Right.
Done with their press conference. He finally did it. The training's kicking in.
Right. Got it. So on the game, Frank, so many threes, right? Second time that you guys have hit 19 threes. You mentioned that the spacing that you get with Mark coming in, it adds to that. But what was it tonight specifically that allowed that shot profile against the Bucks?
Well, again, taking what the defense gives you, they're a very good defensive team, in particular in guarding the paint. And if you try to force at the rim, they force a lot of misses. So you have to play paint to rate basketball. We did a good job of seeing the backside when we drew 3, 4, 5 defenders to the paint, and we rewarded great passing with shot confidence, in particular KCP, Bron in some instances. But that's you have to take what the defense gives you. We have a ton of shooters on this team, and if we make the extra pass, we have a chance to get hot like we did tonight.
Frank, we've talked in recent days about the paint defense, and you said you wanted to focus a little bit more on the low man. AD mentioned that the weak side help has to come a little better. But tonight, and then just in general, what are you seeing overall defensively this season, and where would you like to keep improving as Milwaukee got, almost 60 points in the paint tonight?
Yeah, I thought we slipped in the last 3-4 games, forgetting wins and losses with low man recognition, making sure that we were really protecting the rim and committing to that part of our defense. And even though they got 60 points in the paint, that's what they do. They bring the threat of the 3-ball to attack the rim. But I don't know exactly how many, but I believe we took or attempted to take at least 10 charges tonight. And that's what we want. We want collisions at the rim. Hopefully that are charges or vert plays where we can get out on the break. But we made some big plays. With regard to Giannis in particular. And, when you take a few charges on a guy like that, hopefully he gets a little more hesitant, attacking the rim. And I thought he threw some of those out afterwards. That led to missed threes and, helped us get on the break. So we did a better job with it tonight, but, obviously we've still gotta keep improving.
Hey, Frank, Milwaukee obviously was leading early in the first half and had a lot of points in the paint and transition opportunities. Did you feel like you guys had sort of adequate energy at the start of the game? And if not, what brought sort of the urgency or brought you guys into it?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with our energy the whole night. I think we had some plays offensively where we had poor balance, and we've had a couple games in a row in transition where we're so focused on Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo that we're losing guys. And that happened a ton tonight. We have to improve with that. We still have to make sure that we match up to everyone on the floor. In particular, not letting guys get behind our defense. Just an area to clean up and hopefully learn from in a win.
Fish, you see the ball moving over there? Call that animation. Fish is focused. Animation. Big game chilling over there, Allie over there. Everybody's excited. This is like a movie theater. Get me some popcorn and Sweet Lou. What are we learning with Fish's focus tonight?
All right, so, Geese, we live in California, right?
I do. SoCal, love it here.
People speak a lot of languages in California.
They do. Melting pot.
Predominantly Spanish, Mandarin, Farsi. The Lakers are bilingual. Their first language is defense.
Ooh.
And when they are not speaking their first language very well, we have problems. Here, side screen roll. AD, more concerned about Giannis than stopping the basketball. So he ends up still giving up a little bit of penetration, which leaves Giannis open in the paint. Giannis's length, not many guys have length comparable to AD, still able to get up, get the shot off from not committing to stopping that basketball. But you could tell the Lakers really wanted to stay home on the three-point shooters. So even on some of these screen roll situations, right, Marc Gasol, instead of staying in the paint, which he normally likes to do, he's coming out to guard Brook Lopez, gives up 2 points at the rim. Milwaukee Bucks are tough to cover because of the three-point line. Here again, when LeBron switches off, KCP, Caruso, instead of staying out on the three, he makes the commitment to come in, get his body in the direction of the ball, gets the charge on Giannis. That's the play that Frank just referred to. Giannis kind of started to second guess himself. Pick and roll, AD's in ice, keeping him out of the middle. LeBron staying on the three-point shooter, leaving the mid-paint open. Anthony Davis, great reaction. Eyes to the pass, active hands, goes down. Lakers, LeBron with a great pass to KCP in the corner, knocks it down for three. Oof. And so when the Lakers are speaking their first language, defense. Right, the great defensive clips lead to great offense. Those earlier clips where they were not communicating very well, were not committing to protecting the basket, that caused them some problems, but they figured it out after their first quarter, giving up 33 points.
Big game.
Fish's focus. Yeah, it's good to know. It's good when a team understands that when they need to get back on track, that they go right to defense. A lot of teams don't do that, especially younger players. Veteran players know that defense gets it done. You can't shoot your way back into a game. And the Lakers know that when they crack down defensively is when their offense picks up, and it did.
Great breakdown, Fish.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
More LeBron, after the 6 threes for you tonight, you're around 40% from three. You got KCP and Caruso in the mid-50s. How have you guys evolved as a shooting team from last season and even just in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I just think it's all part of chemistry and knowing your teammates, knowing where your teammates are going to be on the floor. And that comes with games played. It comes with minutes on the floor. It comes with film sessions and things of that nature. When you start getting comfortable with your teammates, you know where guys are going to be, and you know where the shots is going to be taken from or where they're going to come from. So it's all about the chemistry on the floor.
A bigger picture question. There was a widely publicized interview Giannis did in Greece where he said LeBron's the best player in the world. Didn't care doesn't matter who the MVP is right now. I know you keep the main thing, but does that hit you a certain way? Just that kind of respect from a peer in that sense?
Well, anytime you're respected by your peers, it always means something. And, to be respected by a guy in our league that's been so dominant over the last few years, obviously representing the MVP trophy over the last couple of years, and just what he does both on the floor and off the floor is very, very well received and very humbling as well. For me, I just go out there and just try to implement the game in all facets of the game, both offensively and defensively, for my team in position to be successful and then live with the results. So, that guy is damn good himself.
Dave?
So LeBron, clearly there's mutual respect. Is there any satisfaction in having success against Giannis? You're now 16-5. Your teams are 16-5 in your career against him, and he's 10 years younger than you, and he's the back-to-back MVP. Yet you're still able to find success.
Nah, I think you know me. I think all you guys know me. It's never been about individual. It's all about the team success, and that's all that matters. I can care less about that. I just try to play well and help our team win versus any opponent, and that's what it's all about.
Bill?
LeBron, last year in the bubble, you said that the way the MVP vote pissed you off. I'm curious, how did that anger stick with you at all? I mean, did you carry that into this season in any way? And how does it make you feel about the matchup with Giannis? And did it motivate you at all coming into this one?
No, I just think we didn't like the way we played. Finished the game off in the second half versus Golden State, and that sat with us for a couple of days. So we knew it was going to be a tough environment coming here playing against a very, very good team, a team that's been on the top of the league or top of the Eastern standings and just been doing so many great things over the last couple of years. And obviously, with their 3 All-Stars now, you can throw Drew in there. We know it's going to be very competitive, and we know it's going to be very challenging for us. So it was our job to just come out and try to implement our style to the game, and for me personally to do everything it needs to be done on the floor, both offensively and defensively, to help us win this game. So, you live with the results after that.
Wow.
AD has told us that you're one of the guys who's really helped him kind of expand his passing vision and understanding for how he can affect the game that way. Tonight, he has 3 straight assists at a critical stretch in the fourth quarter. What are you seeing from AD that you really that signals to you that he's really making strides as a passer?
I believe, him being in New Orleans, a lot of people either didn't watch their games or just wasn't paying attention to the level of talent Anthony Davis was. And he got an opportunity to see a lot of one-on-one coverages, either because they didn't want him to allow his teammates to get off and they felt like he was going to always get his. But I felt like, since he's been here, he's so damn good that I knew eventually he's going to see a lot of double teams. A lot of teams are not going to allow him just to play one-on-one because it's not one-on-one matchup that he can't exploit. So, me just being able to be a voice with him and seeing double teams throughout my whole career, either in the low post or out on the perimeter, just being him to see the second side of defense. And he's continued to grow every single game, every single film session. We kind of break those things down, what he sees on the floor. And, tonight was another example of him just seeing the other side of the floor and putting the ball on time on target and guys knocking it down.
BT? What's up, Brian?
What's up, BT?
Hey, how much is the game slowing down for KCP? And do you guys plan on going to the White House now with the new administration there?
KCP, he knows what he's out on the floor for us. That's to spread the floor. That's to give us a lot of energy and to defend. And we want KCP, when he's open, we want him to shoot it. When he's guarded closely, we want him to still shoot it. If he just shoot the ball, he's so good. I mean, he's so good for our ball club. He gives us another dynamic that just gives us energy. Gives everyone energy, and we love when he's taking and making shots, but we love when he's just aggressive, just being himself. So, that's big time. To answer your second question, I don't think we've had any conversations, with our team, or I have no idea, with all of the COVID rules and the restrictions and everything that's going on with our league. I'm not even sure if we even are allowed to even go. It'd be great, but I have no idea what we can even do right now besides hotel, arena, and home. So I have no idea.
Last 2, Mark Medina.
Hey, LeBron, given all the moving parts to open this season with the protocols and the returning talent, but new pieces and the quick turnaround, how did you kind of expect the first month to play out, and how have you seen that thus far?
I didn't really put how I expected the first month to play out. I wanted just to see and live in the moment and I know it's going to be a little challenging just to get back restarted after the super duper short layoff or off season, if you want to call it. And then us adding 4 new guys to our roster and us implementing another guy into our rotation. And, just, I just wanted to kind of see, and, it was just challenging. It was something that we've never done before. I've never done before. I've had short off seasons, but nothing as short as this one. So just wanted to see how we were going to play and get the new guys, acclimated to what we do as a culture, both on the floor and off the floor. And, I would say, we're doing some good things, and we want to just continue to build off of that.
Last one, Rachel.
Hey, LeBron. I don't know if you remember Monday night, the video cut off on us. So I've been waiting 4 days for this answer. I know it's going to be really, really good. But I had asked you what you remember specifically from the very first time you played against Kobe Bryant when you were just a little puppy.
I was just in awe. It's a guy who, along with a lot of other guys, was on my wall that I would tape on my wall when I lived in Spring Hill in apartment 602. He was on my wall, and he had a nice collage in my wall, or on my wall. It's a guy who decided to make the jump from high school to the NBA. So it was someone that I kind of, I was thinking about doing that at one point in my junior year, and then really stopped thinking about it. But I kind of, if Kobe's done it, it's someone I could probably hopefully learn from one day, and along with KG and T-Mac. But just being out on the floor with him, if you remember, the guy gave me a pair of his shoes when I was a junior in high school, and to be able to share the floor with him was like for any kid that has aspirations or has inspiring moments from someone.